After spending 25 years in the trucking industry, one thing I'll share with you, you will go through your phases in this career. You will go through your slumps. You'll go through your times where you don't want to be a trucker. You'll go through your times where you'll probably take a break from trucking. But I assure you, if trucking is in your blood, if it's in your passion, you will return. And one thing I want to share with you, it's really important. If that is you, if that's your type of drive, that's your passion, you have to pull forward. No matter if you're in your first year, third year, 15th year, pull forward. And if you're doing good with trucking right now, keep pulling forward with that confidence. If you're struggling, then you have to pull forward with leadership. You have to form that leadership. So let me tell you something. When we do not pull forward and everything with trucking catches up to us, that's what's the madness, the things that don't make sense, all the depression. That means we start facing isolation, depression, and that's when adversity begins. As long as we keep pulling forward and staying forward with leadership and forming that leadership, that's more further we'll be ahead of adversity. And it's really important for you to focus on that and remember that. And if you're not too sure where to start, you're struggling with your career and you have overwhelmed, but you love trucking, I come up with a system because I know where you're at. I've been there. Most of you truck drivers out there, you probably think I'm ghosting, but I'm not ghosting. I've been in your shoes. And I come up with a system that really worked. And how it all started, I started evaluating myself on everything I was doing in my life. That was a lot of evaluation I was doing. I narrowed it down to 7 key steps. And these are 7 key steps of being a trucker. Trip planning, reaching your daily goals, understanding your freight, captaining the rig, keeping you cool, exercising, and the road to success. And you spell it out, it comes out to the word trucker. And what I did, I started evaluating myself off these 7 key steps on safety and efficiency on a scale of 1 to 10. And I was doing it all the way across to the road to success. When I got to the road to success, I was kind of wondering how can I really make this more beneficial to help me be more proactive in my career for me to keep pulling forward. And instead of evaluating myself off the road to success, I started evaluating myself of where I was getting my freight from. That means if I was with a company, I was evaluating that company off the culture, their dispatchers, the driver managers, how well they were flexible with me having my home time, make sure I had my personal time, and also how I was evaluating them off and how they were paying me. And I tell you, that really made a big difference because I got away from a couple companies that really had no business being with me because I had a lot of leadership and a lot of integrity. And I was better off leaving those companies. And I found a company to where they really take really good care of me. And the thing is, if you start following the system yourself and you start following those first 6, because before we can better our careers and pulling forward, we have to make sure we're pulling forward with leadership and with integrity. And the best way to do that is start evaluating yourself off my system. And these are the 7 key steps of being a trucker. And you evaluate yourself off the trip planning, your goals, your freight, your decision making, your attitude, and how well you take care of yourself. And the more you put into that, the better you're going to become. And I tell you, being a truck driver, when we're out there, we spend so much time in these trucks, we become complacent. So we really don't have nothing guiding us, telling us that we're on the right path. Now, if you follow this system, it's going to help you build leadership. It's going to guide you with more momentum, with positivity. And it's going to help you get with the right company. And if you're a company driver wanting to become an authority holder, this is the best way to do this. Because the more effective you become in those first 6 key steps, the more effective you become on the road to success of what you choose to do, becoming a company driver or an authority holder. Check this out, and here's the last, I'm sorry this is a long video, but here's the last but least of my struggle right now, what I'm going through, because if you're struggling, I want to tell you about what my struggle is. My website is complete. I have 2 videos on my website will not play. And the website people, they've been trying to fix this, and they've been telling me they may have to rebuild a couple things, and it's maybe 24 hours, maybe a few days. It's been 2 weeks now. And the first 2 years I had my website going, I really didn't talk about it because when I came up with my system, it only worked for myself. I didn't know how to express it to help other truck drivers. But when I came up with the key of evaluating yourself off a scale of 1 to 10, safety and efficiency, and then that 7th step where drivers evaluate where they get their freight from, I knew that is how I was going to express this to truck drivers across the country. But now the website will now play, and I don't want to promote it because I don't want people getting on there and saying that, well, it's not working, so it just doesn't make me look good. But I'm still doing these videos, and I'm still pulling forward because you know what? If I stop and I let all this craziness catch up to me, it's going to affect me, my ability of what I want to do of helping truckers. So if I can pull forward with this, you can too. And follow my system, and and you can also find me on the Secrets of Trucking and Fitness. And I'm really putting my heart out into this. I never worked harder at anything in my life than what I'm doing to try to help truckers. So thank you so much, and for you to follow me, and you guys drive safe.